You can see where this red and green come together, right in this general vicinity right here. That's where a rotation has been detected within the core of that particular thunderstorm. We've had no visual accounts or reports of a tornado on the ground, but this thunderstorm has exhibited a rotation, and as a result, the Weather Service issued a tornado warning, which goes until the top of the hour at 6 o'clock, so for about another 42 minutes or so. The storm is working its way to the north and east at a rate of about 40 miles an hour, so we can track it out for you here and show you where it's headed. Some of the towns within the path of this particular storm are Bolivar, also eventually up toward Climax, coming up at about 17 minutes, and eventually out toward Robinson and Lockport. And here's some of the storm particulars. It is showing a possibility of hail, 50% possibility of hail within the core of that particular thunderstorm, and it's showing a movement to the north and east at about 31 miles an hour. What's interesting here is you see on this particular graphic, TVS, this is a parameter that we have on Viper radar showing us the possibility of an actual tornado occurring. So the higher the number, the higher the probability. So right now the TVS is listed as a 4, which means there's some potential there, but not an absolute certainty. So our TVS scale listed at about a 4 right now, which is obviously in the middle of the road. As a result, that's why we have the warning issued for that particular storm. But our rotation is right there at the core, just again east of Latrobe right now. We'll get in for a closer look. It is near Ligonier right now, and soon to be just to the east of Derry. We'll follow a track up here and show you where it's headed. I do want to show you, this is where we're picking up the rotation, this general vicinity, right between Latrobe and Ligonier. It's moving just now to the east of Derry. We'll get an update here. We just got a new scan in. This is showing where there could be some hail right now, just to the north of Ligonier right now. And here's where we're picking up that, we call that a couplet. We have winds coming in from opposing directions, and that's where the red and green are lining up right now. So in this general vicinity is where the rotation has been detected. So that is now just to the north of Ligonier at the moment. Again, our movement here is to the north and east at about 40 miles an hour. So one of the roadways that is presently moving along, let's see what roadway this is. That is Highway 259, heading north out of the Ligonier area and on up toward Bolivar right now. If you're in Bolivar, you're advised to take shelter in the lowest level of your home. Again, we haven't had any visual confirmation, but there is the possibility this could spin off a tornado. So if you live in the Bolivar area, go to the lowest level of your home, and please stay away from the windows. This should be passing through within the next 15 to 20 minutes, and from there we go a little further north, some of the towns perhaps in the path. It's going to get awfully close to Blairsville, where you have a pretty gusty thunderstorm right now, New Florence, Marshall Heights, and eventually on up toward Rush Valley and Dilltown coming up within the next 30 minutes. But here's our warned area right now. For the warning, just north of Ligonier right now, and just to the south and east of Derry is where we have this potential rotation occurring. Whether or not it's actually dropped down to the ground, which would classify it as a tornado, remains to be seen, but there has been enough rotation there for the warning to be issued. Again, it's moving to the north and east at about 40 miles an hour, and we're picking up, again, there's your shear marker right there. So I was just indicating, now we're just getting some of that low-level rotation, so a decent chance that this at least has a shot of spinning off a weak tornado right now. So there's your rotation just north of Ligonier right now. We'll expand the view here and give you kind of some perspective as to where we are. Ligonier is just off to your west right now, so we're on the eastern side of Westmoreland County, and some of the towns in the path here, again, it's moving in a northeasterly direction, which is off in this direction, on toward New Florence. That is the direction it's heading. So anyone in the particular path there, I think that was State Route 259, that was one of the roadways there. If you live in close proximity, please take shelter on the lowest level of your home. This warning goes until the top of the hour at 6 o'clock. Let's get an updated idea of where we see this storm going and some of the towns within the path. Again, some of the same towns, updated times right now. Bolivar at 5:26, so that would be in about 5 minutes from right now. Also Climax at 5:27, Robinson to Lockport at 5:28, and we're still showing a kind of a TVS or a shear factor of a 4 on our scale of 1 to 10, which is middle of the road for a potential tornado. That's that BTI in the bottom. It's 4.6 right now, so we're right in the middle of the road. Could go either way. This could be a rotation within an actual severe thunderstorm, and it also could spin out a tornado. We need to take all necessary precautions. because of the potential to actually drop out a tornado, and as a result, the warning that has been issued for that portion of Westmoreland County and Indiana County. If you're watching from Ligonier, the storm is off to your north right now. It's already passed through. It is a few miles to your north. We'll get an idea of as to exactly how far it is from you. Here's Ligonier, so the storm is about 5 miles off to your northeast, if you will, at the moment. It's heading in this general direction on up toward New Florence, as I mentioned, and also Bolivar in Westmoreland County. We get into a closer look. Rachel Wood, it is just to your west right now, so it looks like the storm may miss you in the Rachel Wood area, but again, some of the route names here, sometimes it's easier to get a handle on some of the route names that you perhaps travel on a frequent basis. There's 259 that heads up on toward Bolivar, and here is State Highway 711. Those are the two, we'll say, main or thoroughfares that this storm is going to affect in the next, say, 10 to 15 minutes at most. The storm tracking to the north and east at 40 miles an hour, headed on toward Bolivar, which is very close to the Westmoreland, Indiana County line, and it's going to cross over in Indiana County. I'd give it probably about another 10 to 12 minutes before it cruises by between Bolivar and New Florence, and eventually heads on up into places like Dilltown and Brush Valley. We'll give you an idea as to some of these route numbers up here too. Right here, this is that's 22 heading through southern Indiana County right now. So those are some of the markers, if you will, in terms of roadways that are going to be impacted by this, and of course some of the neighborhoods in close proximity to those routes and roadways as well. Again, a tornado warning in effect until the top of the hour at 6 o'clock, so another 35 minutes as we've exhibited a rotation from this particular thunderstorm. Again, an updated timeline here. We got Bolivar now at 5:32, so that's in about 8 minutes from right now. Climax at 5:33, and Lockport at 5:34. Again, our BTI, which is our tornado index, is at a 4.6 right now. Storm moving northeast at 31 miles an hour. And as we get in and take a look at that, what we call those shear markers, we're still showing that red to green. When you have winds coming in from opposing directions, which obviously would be rotation, that's when you get those red and green couplets coming together, which is at the core of where we're picking up that rotation right now into portions of Westmoreland County. Again, this is just to the north now of Ligonier and also